He's a
That's
mess.
really a shame.
He's a mess. They want him to see a neurologist now.
A hang-up.
It's supposed to be.
I have a hang-up voice message, that's all I
The
have.
doctor told him it's probably going to be 2 years till he's 100% better.
No message.
And this C palsy he has in his arm, they're all saying it will go away.
Well, we
That's the
can,
major.
These aren't
You can-
usually adults.
but we have 5 minutes, do you want to tell me now?
No, we have 1 minute,
Oh, we have 1 minute?
21 on surgery.
but feel free, you wasn't there, it's your meeting.
A big part of it.
Oh, no, this one says that one's wrong.
Yeah, I gotta, but let me know, because I won't start everything.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll get her afterwards at 6:30 on my clock
I
now.
have 6:30.
Are you good to go, or?
There's a reason those percentages exist. There's people who end up in them.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Would you all please rise for the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Evans?
Here.
Committeeman Montgomery?
Here.
Committeeman Dick?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Cordy?
Here.
Mayor Gilmore?
Here. Minutes. We have the approval of reorg minutes of January 7th and regular committee minutes of January 7th.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. We're now open for comments from the public. This is with regards to agenda items only. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone in the room that has anything to say with regards to agenda items? Is there anyone online? Sounds like it.
Apparently.
No? Okay.
You just unmuted. Mr. Banks, do you have any public comment?
No, I'm just going to listen.
Okay,
Okay. Then you might want to mute
I
yourself.
did it. I took care of it.
Thank you. So I will close comments from the public. There are no ordinances. Tonight we have resolutions. Resolution 2025-46-1, awarding a 3-year contract for information technology consulting services. I believe that's Networks Plus. I need a motion and a second.
So moved?
Second.
Mrs. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-47-1, awarding the contract to BRS Incorporated for management and implementation of the NJDEP BDA program. That's the Brownsfield Development Area. So moved. Can I have a second? Second.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mrs. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-48-1, authorizing a shared services agreement with Lumberton Township for vehicle maintenance, updating the hourly rate. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-49-1, appointing the conflict attorney, Doug Heinhold. I need a motion and a second. So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-50-1, authorizing 50% contribution to employee health care premiums and amending the township's personnel policy manual. I need a motion and a second. So moved. Second.
Mrs. Cordy?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-51-1, the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, Green Acres Enabling Resolution for Creek Turn Park. This is something that we had to do to just put it on record.
It's authorizing the agreement with the state of New Jersey for that program, for that grant and loan.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-52-1, correcting the Township Auditor's contract amount. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Resolution 2025-53-1, establishing Hainesport Township's fourth round of affordable housing requirements. Mr. Gillespie, do you have anything to say about this resolution?
No, just,
Aye.
as you know, in October, the DCA issued its numbers for the municipalities in the state of New Jersey and gave us a number of 77 as our prospective need, nothing for rehab, 0 on that, but 77 for prospective. So, as we discussed over the last month and a half of 2024 and in the beginning of this year, there were 3 factors that the state looked at, one of which was land, right? And so between Paula and Leah, your affordable housing planner, I don't know if you all met Leah, but Paula and Leah went through the information and the data upon which DCA relied in determining how many acres were developable in Hainesport Township. And in fairness to DCA, the data they relied upon was from 2020. So Paula and Leah were able to draw upon 4 years since then, and what's available and what's not available. And as a result of that, took the acreage, plugged it into the DCA's methodology, right? Used their own formula, but put in the correct information, which resulted in your prospective need, your fourth round obligation dropping from 77 to 62, which, I think is a very manageable number. And so what you're doing is you're adopting this number. Tomorrow or Thursday, we will file the declaratory judgment action, which is required within 48 hours of your adoption of the resolution, asking the court to confirm the 62. Those are the next
And
steps.
approximately how long will we know before?
Well, anyone who objects to it has until February 28th to object. So we will serve a copy of the complaint on Fair Share Housing Center. A copy of the resolution and the complaint will be on the website. So anybody who wants to see what Hainesport is doing can look at that. It is empirically supported by the land calculation.
Thank you. So we need a motion and a second? We did that?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Okay, we have some mobile home park license to, I need to do these individually, right? I can't do all 3 together.
The licenses? I think that,
So the mobile home park license, I need a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Approval of the charitable clothing bin licenses, 2025-1, 2, 3, and 4. I need a motion and a second. So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Approval of the video pinball licenses, 2025-1 and 2. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Forty?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mayor Gilmore?
Yes. Okay, that being done, we're now open for comments from the public. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. This can be on any subject. Yes, Kitty? Take your time.
Catherine McNellis, 407 Bischoff, Hainesport. I am here again asking about having water in the refrigerator at the community center. That refrigerator runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 352 days a year, and it's so much better if it has something in it. I can't see where a case of water in that refrigerator is hurting anything.
It's perfectly all right, Kitty, as long as you realize that we're not responsible if anything goes missing.
The whole thing is, I've been telling you every time I came here, that we no longer put our name on the, so that anybody that came in could use that water.
Well, it's
Anybody.
perfectly all right, dear.
So I don't know why you couldn't have said this a couple of years ago, so I wouldn't have to keep coming here all the time.
I was happy you and I spoke the other day, Kitty, so we talked about that, and, yeah, so we're good. So put water in there. If anyone else wants to put water in there, it's open game. It's free game. Anybody can drink it. Right, yep. So I tell this to my children, they put something in the refrigerator and it's theirs. If they put their name on it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work that way, so.
There was a bunch of different things that went on in
Sure.
there, and they brought their own stuff.
Yeah, it's just difficult to keep it, it's difficult to keep things there.
They could help themselves because they're in there cleaning, and we told them right to their faces that they could go in and get it any time.
Yeah, I think water is,
Decided to just let anybody take it.
and water's something that doesn't go bad, and, so that's, I think that's the
I
key.
think you're taking away from her time, Mr. Montgomery.
And also, I was wondering if they could get the beds out of the closet
It has been requested.
so that maybe Donna could use that and give us the other closet, so if we want to have a yard sale.
Well, a yard sale, I think there was a discussion that went on between you, Mrs. Evans, and Mrs. Costco, and Donna Casey about a year ago or so with regards to that, and I thought yard sales were going to end.
I can't, you're back.
I thought yard sales were going to end,
Yard sale what?
was not going to happen,
Why?
because the township doesn't do a yard sale anymore.
Well, whether they do it or not, everybody else does.
Well, yeah, you can do one at your house,
We're going to
but
hurt this township by having a yard sale at that community center? When we've had it for 30 years?
but you're collecting items for a year, and then they remain there when they don't get disposed of.
Oh,
They just
oh.
keep remaining there.
And we take them away. Anything that doesn't get sold, we get rid of. And then we start all over the next year. You're a sad group of people, that's all I can say.
Well,
We're seniors, we've lived here, I've been here over 70 years, paying taxes. And you're telling me I can't use that building to have a yard sale? But everybody else can use that building for anything.
well, they can't use it for just
You
anything.
better
There
think
are,
about, because it's
People can't use it
ridiculous
just
that
for
we can't
anything.
use that building for a yard sale.
Kitty, are you going to take 2 weeks before your yard sale to bring in your items
No.
and then remove them afterwards?
No, we
Well-
always do it the day before we get permission to use the building, to mark the prices, we bring everything the next day, and that's the yard sale.
So you're telling me there's nothing in the building right now for a yard sale?
There is stuff in there, yeah.
Well, then that just counter...
Because you wouldn't let us have one last year. Oh, and a year before that, you were going to give us money so we wouldn't have a yard sale, and we never did that, so. Not you.
No, that's not necessarily the case. We had agreed that we would put some funding in the budget for the senior club. Now, we don't necessarily do that for any club within the municipality, but it was requested, and that was a compromise that we had all came to. I think the underlying issue is that we don't want to use the senior center for a storage facility. And accumulating items for a sale over a year would be like a storage facility. So we had compromised at that meeting that we would help, the intent of the yard sale, as presented by you, was to raise money for the senior club. And what we had agreed
Money so we
to,
could go out to lunch.
right, and what we had agreed to is we would add money to the budget for the senior club so that that would satisfy the need for you guys to raise money. Our issue is that we have programs there throughout the year, various programs, and utilizing the closet as a storage facility is not necessarily in the best interest of the entire community. So we agreed at that meeting collectively as a compromise to add money to the budget for the senior club.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
You people are really sad. I can't believe that you would do this. All these years I've been coming trying to get water in the refrigerator, and now you're going to be so ridiculous and say we can't have a yard sale there.
But you got water in your refrigerator.
What?
You have water in the refrigerator.
I'm mad at you people. You're sad, that's all I can say, you're sad, all of it.
Okay. Anyone else in the audience have something? Yes, sir.
Just going to put this underneath here.
Thank you, Bruce.
So, Bruce Levinson, 2 Fox Court, Hainsport, of course. So, I would like to start by referencing President Kennedy, who I believe was one of our better presidents. He wrote the book Profiles in Courage. His basic premise was that as elected folks, we do what is best for the country and not what is best for our next election. At the level of local government, I believe we do what is best for Hainsport and not what is best for our next election. One of the ways I did this as a former committee person was to vote for ordinances and resolutions with either yes or no votes. I did all I could to avoid abstaining. In my mind, voting this way, should I decide to run again, residents would know exactly where I stood. No ambiguity, no chance for me to speak different truths to different populations. There would be what we all said we want in government, and that is transparency. Now I bring your attention to December's vote regarding Resolution 2024-17212, authorizing payment to Hainsport Family Apartments, LLC, from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which would release funds to the Affordable Housing Development on Creek Road, where there was only one abstaining vote. So Anna, I direct this to you. Having spent years in the committee, now addressing the issue of affordable housing, I know you are a more nuanced person. Knowing now what perhaps you didn't know before. Number one, you know that to avoid a builder's remedy lawsuit and be forced into allowing a Dan Horton type development, like the 1,000-unit development we see in 38 between Forester Town Road and Ark Road, we have to, as a town, fulfill a smaller mandate within a specified period of time. So you know that. 2, you also know that several other properties that were evaluated failed to be appropriate for residential units, while this one on Creek Road met requirements. 3, we are also aware that your position on affordable housing is pro-affordable housing. 4, serving with you on the committee, I know you understand that a similar D.R. Horton development in town would result in perhaps a giant increase in Hainsport taxes due to increased population. For these reasons, I'm left confused by your abstaining vote. So here's my request. I request, for the sake of transparency, all committee members who vote to abstain do so with clear explanation. Anna, would you please now detail the reason for your abstaining vote so we are comfortable? It was not for convenience, as you will be running for re-election this next time around, and Hainsport needs to know your vote was not a political positioning type of thing in order to achieve an electability advantage. And thank you all.
Would you like me to respond now or wait for committee comment? Mayor?
Whatever you'd like.
Okay, so my belief is more nuanced, I think, Bruce, than you gave me the benefit of saying that you thought I am a nuanced individual, and I believe I am. I am pro-affordable.
My hearing aids today.
Sorry. I am, in general, pro-affordable housing. That is my belief. I do believe, however, that the position that we find ourselves in now is a regrettable one as a result of many bad decisions that were made by previous committees, people who are not currently on the dais,
Yes.
who should have included affordable housing in all of the major developments that we have been putting up since the late 90s. So there should be affordable housing in Hinsborough Chase, in Sage Run, in Creekview and Lakeside, and there isn't. And that is why we end up in this position of being almost bullied by the various authorities into putting affordable housing in a 3-story apartment at the bottom of Creek Road, whereas, as I think you know, many residents object to it on several different grounds. But my other issue with that particular vote was that my belief, and this is over observation of this particular development over the course of the time that I've been on the committee, that those developers have just kept asking for more and more money. They've kept sticking their hands out and saying, this isn't enough money, this won't make a profit for us, we need some more money, we need you to release more money. And I just got to the point where I felt that they were really just making a joke of the process. We can't say no, right? We can't say no because we're between a rock and a hard place in terms of our affordable housing requirements, as you heard earlier. So my abstention vote was a very small, minor protest against the way in which these developers bully us into continuing to increase the amount of money that we put into their projects. Okay?
Well, that's fine. We also need to understand that with regard to the builders, we actually compete for the building in our town. So we have to provide sort of like a matching fund, so to speak, more money in order to get the right builder to build the right development. And it's unfortunate we have to do that, but there's so much competition at the level of state government to try and get the right builder to build in a specific period of time so we can meet our mandates. And I'm a little confused as to what them asking for more money. Perhaps there's something that I don't know. But as far as us trying to get the right builder, that's why we contribute monies to the building of the project to get the right builder.
Right, no, I understand that, but perhaps Mr. Gillespie could advise everyone, how many times did that particular development over the course of the project come back and increase the stipulated amount that's either had to be dispersed or forgiven in the course of the project? Because in my recollection, it was at least twice and possibly 3 times they upped the request for monies.
It was 3 times, if I remember correctly. The third was more nuanced. So the first 2, the first was a loan, which we're going to forgive all along. I think it was 200 or 250.
I don't recall the amount.
Huh? 275. And then I think the QPA, the point system changed for the competitiveness because these were low-income housing tax credit funding, and they needed more. And then there was a limit on what the state would fund, and we wanted 72 units, I think it is, right?
Yeah, I think they wanted 104 and then came down to 72.
So 72 units, and we were getting bonus credits, so that ended up being 100 and some credits towards our 197. But the third round, that 900,000, we wanted 72. The funding was maxed at 66. And to make up the difference, we had to pony up 150 per unit. But those 6 extra units, and we had money in the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, so it didn't cost taxpayers anything. It was that 72 number, and we would have gotten bonus credits anyway, but we get more bonus credits, so that it was to the township's benefit in terms of satisfying the fair share plan that we had adopted, the Housing Element Fair Share Plan, and how we were getting the 197. In order to make sure that 72 is protected, that 900,000 is what that resolution that you're talking about authorized, was the last payment, which we had committed to earlier that year, and it was just a matter of now we had to pay it. if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So was there a situation where people, or at least the builder, was coming back and continuing to ask for more? Was
When the points change, that's not unusual. And in this one, what confused me, which is not hard to do, was why the state was maxing out at 66 units. And we had to make up that 6. And fortunately, there was money in the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, so we could. And it allowed us to not have to revise our housing element and fair share plan, and we could stay at the 197 with the components that were in there when we adopted it the year before, and the court had approved it. And so that's 72 plus the bonus credits we got from it was sacrosanct.
So when you say that they're coming back and asking for more money, that money is coming out of the Builders Trust Fund? It's not really coming out of Hainsport taxpayers?
No, it came out of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and again, it was, and it's not unusual, when they come back asking for more. The points, if I remember correctly, the points change every 2 years. When HMFA does its competition for these credits, it's not QPA, that's you, you're a QPA. It's something like that. It's point qualifications of some sort. And they change them every couple of years. And, towns are always reacting to that. I mean, that's just the way it is. So we have to, if we're going to do it, and you have the luxury of having money in the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, we're going to have to do it again in the 4th round. Unfortunately, we'll have money coming in 2025 into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund from Black Creek.
Okay, so with regard to the money coming into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, I just want everybody to understand where that money is coming from.
It comes from the developer as part of the statute that's called the non-residential development fee. So 2.5% of the equalized assessed value, so whatever Jim Mancini puts on the value of the property, 2.5% of that gets paid at CO into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund.
Yeah, so just so that the residents understand, it's not coming out of taxpayers' money.
That is correct.
It's coming from the builders who are required to put money into the trust fund when they build or sell a particular property.
That is correct.
And residential.
Yeah, 1%.
As well as 1.5.
Yeah, but we changed that. We upped the number for a couple of them. We actually required a higher number than the statute does for a couple of residential properties.
Yeah. So just so everyone's aware, you guys, I know, as far as the residents are concerned, there's nothing that can change the character of a community more than affordable housing going wrong. And on that note, I wish everybody good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Anyone else in the room? Anyone online?
Just Mr. Banks, who said he was
Listening. Okay, so therefore we will close public comments. Comments from the administrator.
Just that I'm currently working on the solar light grant that you approved the end of last year. I believe it was in November. That is due on January 31st. I received an estimate from our municipal engineer for that project, and it also includes direct power source lighting as well, not just 24 solar lights. So obviously you all will approve this, but the plan may include up to 11 direct energy lighting, which would be around the concession building, the Public Works building, the concession stand, and then the perimeter lighting would be solar lights, and that would be the remaining number. It was 9 solar lights, and maybe the balance is direct energy lights. And this way, we do not have to worry about replacing the batteries every 5 years, which is extremely costly, and that's been the issue. That's been the ongoing issue with the solar lights here at the park, is the 3 times we've had to go back and replace the batteries. We've hired Paradise Solar to do that several years ago, and we're still in the same situation where it's just not holding juice until the end of the night. So hopefully we will, that's a $100,000 grant, and the engineer's estimate is this will be over about a $250,000 project.
Wow.
Until then, I would like to thank all of the people who are here using the headlamps.
Yes. I saw them myself tonight. Thank you. Mr. Gillespie?
I just want to commend committee, this Resolution 50, the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan, these increases are just nuts, right? I don't know what the state thinks they're doing, but 14.5% increase for medical, 28.4% increase for prescription drug coverage for a combined increase of 16.3%. Not a lot of towns would look for a way to help their employees with that, to subsidize those increases. And the use of the pilot monies that you're doing in this resolution, it took some imagination, it's commendable. Forgive me, but well done.
Thank you, I agree. Comments from the committee, Mrs. Evans?
All right, I've got a few things to report. On January 9th, we ran a very successful open house for our Green Team Energy Efficiency Outreach Program, which was attended by 15-plus residents. On January the 15th, Recycle Coordinator Jen Koutouris and myself, we attended Trenton Renewables to take a tour, and this Friday we have a call with Unwaste. All of this is part of our efforts to look into options for the town to keep food waste out of landfills. On January the 22nd, I attended the County Commissioners meeting, and I asked them if there was a timeline for the independent report into the 2024 election. I'm still waiting to hear about that. I'm happy to see the resolution executing the contract for the Brownfields Development Area Management on the agenda, along with the resolution enabling the Green Acres grant for Creekturn Park. Now, to address what was said earlier, there are many disadvantages to being the lone Democrat on a Republican-controlled committee. One is that apparently the clock stops when a resident wants to question my motives. However, there is one advantage, and that is that I can typically register a protest while knowing I'm not impeding the actual project because everyone else is going to vote yes. I think affordable housing developers fleece the town because they can, and I registered my protest accordingly. Thanks everyone for coming, and go Birds.
Okay. Mr. Dick?
I guess first I want to thank the town. I attended the New Jersey League of Municipality seminar with Leila and Karen. So it was my first time, and it was actually pretty interesting. I learned a lot. Most of it wasn't boring, especially John, who finished it up for us, and I do appreciate it. It was nice to see a friendly face there, so that was really nice. And the only other thing is, and I put this on Facebook the other day, Public Works, obviously a lot of that goes unsung, or we only notice when something goes wrong. It was a week and a half ago, the Monday it snowed. I went out, and one of our street signs had been knocked down, someone had slid into it. I started my car to warm it, called in, talked to them, said, hey, whenever you get a chance, come on out there. By the time my car was warm, I got in my car, I'm starting to drive away, and the truck's already out there. So I have to commend them on record. I already commended them in person, but on record, that's pretty impressive. Go Birds. And also, I had said I'll be here on Thursdays. I will be here on Thursdays, but if anyone wants to talk to me, call, reach out to me via email. You can find me via Facebook. I'm not going to go back and forth on Facebook, but I'm happy to talk to you on the phone. I'm happy to come over here and meet you for a cup of coffee. I'm happy to get to know anyone who wants to get to know me. So I want to keep saying that and get that out there, even if it's not going to be a consistent time on Thursdays or anything like that.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Montgomery?
I'm glad we agreed to allow cases of water in the refrigerator at the street center. The biggest thing is putting names on it and people thinking somebody's stealing it and whatever. So if it's open to the public, whoever uses it, that's the biggest issue. The yard sale situation, we
storing things for a yard sale, getting things dropped off. It's one thing if you do it at your house, at a public facility which is used for things other than yard sales. That's what's difficult. If you can imagine just your house, people dropping things off at your house weeks in advance, and then keeping it there weeks after for the year, it's just difficult. So that's why last year we had decided to, since it was decided that it wouldn't be allowed, that we would give some money to the seniors to take the place of the funds that they would get from the yard sale. So I'm really happy with that decision, and I don't regret any of it, and I'm sorry that there was some confusion there or some frustration in that. God bless the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. God bless Hainesport, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. Mrs. Torti.
Yes. As the new liaison to the school, which I was thrilled to get, I was able to attend the first school board meeting. They had, I would like to think it was my request, but it probably wasn't only my request, but they changed the nights of their school board meetings not to conflict with ours, because it was always on our same township meeting nights. So they changed the nights, and now I can go. So I'm very, very happy to be involved with the school and hopefully opening a little bit wider the lines of communication between us and them. So right now, they're working on their kindness challenge for a week long. They have all kind of activities, and I think it's wonderful that they're trying to instill those values in the children. And also, kindergarten and pre-K registration is now open. As Andy said, I was very happy to attend the municipal training. It always helps to pick up a couple things that we can learn to serve you better. The rec committee, Dawn has been working so hard. She's been so busy with Sue, and they've been working on the budget and lining up all these activities for the year. So we have quite a few things coming up, but we've also met with the senior core group, and we're trying to find out how we can serve the needs of the veterans and the seniors in our community better. So be on the lookout for things on that line. This Friday night, we have our first movie night inside the firehouse. And we will have popcorn and bring your blankets and your comfy chairs, and the movie's going to be Inside Out 2. And it starts at 6:30, correct? 6:30, 6:30. 7. Starts at 7. For me, it will be 6:30. Okay, so, and right now we have, and I put these flyers in the back, we have our 5th annual Heart to Give shoebox campaign going on right now, and we're trying to help the homeless and give them some personal items that they could use. So if you'd like to pick up a flyer, there's flyers in the back with more information on that. I know my CCD kids always participate in that, and I think it's another great thing for them to do. And the Ladies Auxiliary is going to be selling flowers and strawberries on February 13th and 14th. So if you're looking for, what, honey? Chocolate-covered strawberries, yes. Let me make sure of that. So that if you're looking for some gifts, please consider supporting them. There'll be more information on other things to come. And so I think that's all for now. Thank you. So I always say, God bless you. God bless Hainesport. God bless America. And yes, I'm rooting for the Eagles. Go Eagles.
I'm a Pittsburghian there.
Born and raised in Pittsburgh, but I do love the Eagles. Okay.
We forgive you.
Okay, good, thanks.
We've adopted you. So that being said, just a couple of things, just to add to your note, the senior core group, the things that are being done through the Recreation Committee are for the entire senior group in Hainesport, not just the
Thursday afternoon group.
that meet at the street center.
That's correct.
It's for everybody over the age of 55-ish.
Yes.
That lives in Hainesport. They're trying to include more people that it has nothing to do with their little lunch group or anything. So
Yes.
we have many more programs that are in the works for that.
Is that the official age, 55?
Could be 50, it depends if you really want to participate.
I'm at 39, so at 55 is a little far
Been
from me.
holding long enough to attend. Just saying. So I did want to make that point.
Yes, good point, because there is a distinction between the senior
Right.
citizen, the seniors group, and then the township-wide.
Everybody knows that they're more than welcome to attend. And I'm sure that if you were under that age and wish to attend or want to bring somebody, that they'd be more than welcome.
Oh, yes, of course.
And I too, once again, attended the orientation for municipal officials for the newly elected, the re-elected, and the experienced. You always pick up something, and it's well worth your time and effort to attend, and the networking there, and to find out that towns, because people came from way North Jersey and very far South Jersey, and a town that was half the size of ours had a number of over 300 for their affordable housing for the fourth round. I found that to be just, and it's a rural, mostly farm area. I don't know how they come up with the formulas, but it's just embarrassing. It truly is. And how well we planned in the short period of time we started planning to take care of our obligation. I'm just so proud of us. And I did want to note that the people that have worked the elections on Election Day and worked overtime, after 8:15 till midnight, they'll be getting time and a half for their services, and from midnight to whenever they ended the following day, they will get double time. I was just informed that today, because I do work the elections, I have to work in Lumberton, because I can't work here in Hainesport, but I know several people that work here, and it's well-deserved. They did a fantastic job, and they couldn't have done it without the leadership in this building. So proud of you. And with that, let's pay some bills.
Madam Mayor, excuse me, may I add one more thing? Sure. Okay. I just want to commend our Administrator Paula and Leah Fury on getting our number down from 77 to 62. I know you've been working hard on that, and I'd just like to say thank you, and job well done.
Thank you so much.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Gordy?
Yes.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Gilman?
Yes. And with that being done, I believe we don't have an executive session.
Bills to pay?
So
We just
Was that-
did.
was that
I'm sorry, I should have said.
Yeah, I thought it was to adjourn, I don't...
No, that was the pay
Sorry about
bills.
that.
Okay.
I had said that. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Nobody wants to leave.
If I was second, I'll be second then.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mrs. Montgomery?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. That's my fault, Ken, I should have said, bye.
No, I was...